Derek Phelps passed me up. I had it when I left.
Okay, there you go.
Right, that's what
about 6 months.
Don't let facts get in the way of a good story. You're the
right.
Steelers leader in your mind. What is your when you woke up this morning? What were you thinking?
I haven't woken up yet. I'm still sleeping. It was a long night.
never went to bed.
It was a long
What was
night.
that like last night?
You know, it was great. It was a great feeling. Start the year, no one knew where this team was going to be. I even watched practice and had thoughts about we got a lot of work to do. And then with Garcia leaving, the kid Harris being ineligible, the bench got even shorter. But the guys stuck together. Coach and staff stuck it out. Continued to work with the guys, and they figured it out. You know, to make a run like this, you have to be playing together. Everyone has to be on the same page, and everybody has to be pulling the rope in the same direction.
RC said he'd wear the Carolina hat if they win.
He knows that. He knows that. We go back way too far for that. Probably people would get mad at him for Carolina, and people don't know George and I were high school teammates.
Yeah.
Right? We played together at Flint Hill.
Yeah.
And he was a year ahead, and he went to North Carolina. And North Carolina was in my final 5 schools. And I didn't go. Phelps was committing, and it was kind of like, all right, Derek Phelps is kind of closing in. You got to make a decision right now. So back then we had to wait our turn. So
right.
George was in that wait his turn mode, and he wasn't the happiest person when I called him. And I was like, well, man, I ain't going there. and I ended up going to Carolina, and things worked out for both of us. But you know.
Yeah. All right, so Caleb Love's been up and down all year. He exploded last night. You kind of got to live with the good and the bad, right? I mean, how do you feel about Caleb Love? He's a monster when he's good. There's other times where it's like, oh, man, I don't know.
I like for him to be aggressive the whole time.
I'm with
it
you.
takes a lot
I'm
of
with
pressure off of Davis and Manic. But he's come in big games and played well.
Right.
Didn't have, the games that he had the first couple of times against Duke that he had his freshman year. But the last 2 games he's stepped up and played big minutes for us.
Hubert Davis, you talked about you've known Hubert for 30-some years.
We both. I mean,
Yeah.
he's in Lake Braddock. We went to Flint Hill. We're right there in Virginia, and Hubert's in Lake Braddock. You know, so he's literally across town from us.
Give us a taste of the Hubert that you know and the Hubert you've seen taking his head coaching job.
He's always been the quiet one, kind of behind the scenes. He's not. If you go in the locker room, you hear him rah rah rah, and he's competitive, because coming out of Lake Braddock, he wasn't highly recruited. He had 4 great years at Carolina, played in the NBA, so he has that competitive drive. For any guy to make it in the NBA, they got to have some competitive fight to him.
Right.
And just like anyone else who get the opportunity to coach at their alma mater, there's a little pride there, especially when it comes to playing Duke.
Right.
It's even a little bit more. And he's been true to his word. I think the guys have bought in and relate to him. He's not one of those, where Coach Williams, kind of was stuck in his philosophy on how he wanted to coach, play with 2 bigs.
Yeah.
All the alumni was like, look, we got to change the way we play. We were still running plays when I was playing for Coach Smith.
Yeah, I know.
So the kids today, they like the ball screens and, pop and shoot, drive and kick. So you almost in spacing the floor. So you almost have to just allow them to be themselves. And he's done a good job of that.
I got to ask you, because we, as an alum and somebody like you're living in Charlotte now, you're tied to the program, you've always been. Were you critical of them, or not? I wouldn't say critical. Were you surprised at the way the team was playing early in the year? Because it was a change, like you talked about. He went away from that 2 big, they're spreading you out, Brady Manic spacing, shooting threes, and it wasn't well received originally. Even though the change was, the results wasn't.
Right.
And so people are always, we were harping on it wasn't the best season in the start for this team, and obviously they've turned around here, but Shaman was on, and he had some concerns, and I'm pretty sure as an alum, a lot of guys, everybody. Is it fair to say that, right?
It's very fair. I think if you look at the age group of alum who's graduated, who played there,
Right.
I know for myself, seeing guys jack threes, guys who shouldn't be shooting threes, jacking threes, I kind of, I'm old school.
Right.
But I relate to it now. I get it. I understand that, 3 is better than 2. I mean, so it took our guys a little while to adjust in their new roles.
It helps when Brady Manek's shooting 40% from 3, right?
Oh yeah,
It helps you.
Yeah.
It
Brady
helps you
Manek,
ease those worries.
we wouldn't be here without him.
No doubt.
So he's been big for us. But you watch enough games, you can allow Brady Manek to catch and shoot with one leg on the ground and not even squared up to the basket. So he's been great in that aspect. Last night when Love took a couple of those shots, we were kind of like, oh man, he gonna shoot us out of it. But he got it rolling, and hey, I was like, take another one.
Yeah, right.
Once he hits a couple.
Starting 0 for 5. He was scoreless through 15 minutes.
Yep.
Didn't stop. And we're live on YouTube, Twitter. So on our YouTube chat, by the way, we have some people. This is a great one. Sean says, George Lynch and Derek Phelps trapped Weber in that corner in the Superdome
Oh, man.
in 1993. The Heels were prepared. Weber was not. The Heels did the right things. Weber also walked up the floor before that.
Yeah, New Orleans been good to us. 82, 93, hopefully 22.
You like Nola.
Yeah, I remember when we came here and played against Kansas and Michigan, they were saying that this was Dean's second home, the Dean Dome. So we're hoping that that's true for all the Carolina fans.
We got one here. Sean says, ask George Lynch if he still remembers the back screen in the 93 title game for the dunk. Plus, did he see Weber's ghost walking last night?
No, I didn't see the ghost on Bourbon Street, but my eyes probably wasn't open too wide either. But that every time you see the Final Four, it always brings good memories when you've had opportunity to play them.
Where's your ring?
Oh, I didn't bring it, man. It was in the closet.
You didn't bring your ring?
No, I didn't bring it.
Hey, what's your best North Carolina? You probably ask this all the time. Best North Carolina memory from your time playing?
Man, there's so many. The battles with Randolph and Rodney Rogers, the Florida State comeback game, then making the run through my senior year, making the run through March Madness, and you wouldn't think that Duke still has so many. We played so many times against Duke. They won the year that I was at Carolina. They won back-to-back.
91, 92.
And it just makes it tough when you play against them. Like last night, I did an interview on the ACC network, and they were trying to get us to give, some good quotes and locker room bulletin board material. And you just have to, because you have so much respect for Duke, you have to keep quiet, because any little thing will give them an edge, and you didn't want to do that. So I'm sure guys on their side didn't want to say nothing, and guys on our side didn't want to say anything.
But now it's over, so you can say it.
It's over, man.
You can say it now.
It's over.
Just get it out.
It was.
Get it out there, man. Just put it out there,
It's
man.
a great feeling, man. We got bragging rights for another year.
I can't tell you how many times this week that this guy has said, I cannot talk about Duke and Carolina anymore. You know where his heart is.
Yeah.
But this is one of my guys. I mean, it's funny because we talk about the rivalry, and again, it goes beyond that because there's so many ties for us going back to Grant's right there.
Yep.
It's so many of us that were tied to that area in that time that it's just special. So the friendships went through that competitiveness, and we kept those even in the NBA and beyond.
Right.
So it's been big.
How bad on a scale of 1 to 10 is Randolph's little brother syndrome, having played at Wake Forest?
Hey, my record, I got to win a record, so it's never that. It's never a record.
All I can see is his crossover and this right here. So he has bragging rights. He won his last game like we won our last game against Duke and Coach K. So
what do you feel
I
like?
played at Clemson. It doesn't, I'm not even allowed to talk at this point.
You're allowed to talk.
I mean, I'll talk. Nobody will listen.
Well, okay.
There you go.
What do you think is the key tomorrow night for the Tar Heels to beat Kansas?
we got to stay out of foul trouble. It got a little close with Baycott fouling out.
Yeah.
Like it was 2 to 3 minutes left, and we were able to hold on. But I think we keep him out of foul trouble, keep him on the floor. We can get Leaky to defend. like
He'll
he
do
did.
that. He'll do
he'll
that.
defend. He was trying to, it's funny, to start the season, he was worried about shooting the ball, making threes, and I pulled him to the side first practice. I said, look, I made my living playing defense.
Right.
I said, if
what better person to
Yes.
talk to
Yes.
than George
That's
Lynch?
I was gonna
great
say.
line, George.
So, and I told him, I said, if Coach Davis trusts you defensively, he got to keep you on the floor. There's no
Right.
one else on this team can guard 1 through 4.
I think
And-
that's the biggest thing that I envy about you guys and a lot of programs is your ability to go back and be willing to say, hey, man, I made a living doing that. Like, this is impactful. When you go to a kid and then they may not know, and then all of a sudden they leave, and George Lynch comes up to him and says, hey, I won a national championship. I'm a 12, 13-year NBA vet, and I came in here and I focused on rebounding and defense, and people notice.
Yep.
And for you, coming from you, because and then he finds out he's making shots now.
Right.
He's focusing on defense and doing all those other things,
Yep.
and then now he's making shots.
I had the opportunity to play for Coach Larry Brown and coach with him, and he always said, don't go into games thinking about scoring. Just do the other little things, and the ball will find you.
Yep.
And
you would have got you an NBA ring with him if it wasn't for Kobe and Shaq, right?
yeah, man, I had the opportunity to win it. Playing the NBA Finals, broke my foot in the semis against Toronto. Wasn't able to come back, but it was those little nuggets that if you can share with these young guys,
Right.
They don't get so caught up into, I want to be a first-round pick. Just enjoy the ride, enjoy the journey, and good things will happen.
We have one question here from Rob Dolster.
All right.
George, listen, this is my show, so if I want to come in here and ask my question, I'm going to ask it. I live in Philly.
Uh-huh.
When you drive up 76, there's that City Ave exit, and right there's that TGI Fridays there, right? Have you ever been to that Fridays?
I've been in that Fridays a lot. Yeah.
Do you have any good stories from that Fridays that you can share with us?
I don't know. It might be some kids listening. That was AI's hangout spot.
Is it that where he spent $30,000 at the TGI Fridays?
I'm sure he spent a lot of time at TGI.
That's a lot of potato skins.
I want to paint a picture for what this Fridays is like. It's not like a restaurant. You walk in and there's like club music going.
Yep.
They got like a dance floor in the Fridays.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Have you ever seen another Fridays like that?
Club
Hey,
music at a Fridays?
That's the only Fridays in City Ave, Philadelphia that I know that's playing hip hop.
We got mozzarella sticks and ass.
Oh, yeah, all that.
Tater tots have a whole new meaning.
That's why Goodman won the cheesecake.
It's got a whole new meaning at tater tots.
All right, George Lynch, thanks for joining us.
Hey, man.
Great, George Lynch.
We got to get George out here more. Appreciate you, brother.
Oh, we're having fun. We are having fun here.
How long you guys here?
We'll be here till
All day we're here. We're here all day. Gordon Biersch, 200 Poydras Street. Visit us. We're right across the street from